Good morning, everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast. What's happening, man?
Hey, I will have to tell. I got to start it off like this. I was at the game yesterday, the Phillies game, and I will tell you, for 8.5 innings, that game stunk. It was amazing to watch how bad that they can see when they don't feel like hitting or don't know how to hit or just not seeing the ball well. They stink. They stink.
Yep.
But I tell you, the best closer in Major League Baseball came in the 9th inning. And the Phillies decided, you know what? Not today. And took a 4-0 lead, and literally all with 2 outs. It was all 2-out work done by the bottom of the order, which was even better. Literally, they all worked it out and tied it up, and there's a man on first base when Kyle Schwarber goes up to bat. And all series long, anytime that Kyle Schwarber went up for a meaningful at bat, they put him on first base. It was just automatic. They were just intentionally walking him. They did not this time.
Okay.
And ouch quit it for them because he smacked it 410 feet center field. It was the first walk-off home run for the Phillies in 3 years. It's the first time I ever recall them coming back, scoring 6 runs to win a game in the 9th. I don't ever recall that. Like, that's not one that I've seen much of. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's taken a few innings, like they've come back from that much, but all in one inning, that was a first for me. And it was also very exciting, so as we head our way, as they are flying currently across the country to get to your hometown.
Yep. So, sadly, we did not have that same kind of experience. We were down 7-2 and then gave up 9 more in the 8th. And just because why not, gave up another 3 in the 9th. And so ended up losing this one 19-2.
Ooh. Those are ouchers, because now that's in those 2 games that we can think of. That's 41 runs to 2.
Yeah, correct. So I got this graphic together to illustrate how amazing my Mariners are. They tied a franchise record, but how they tied it is not what we're excited about. So losses by 17 or more runs in the first 50 years of the franchise, 7,836 games. It's happened twice. It has happened twice in the last 6 games. Brutal.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
on the plus side, my hope to nope hashtag doesn't even apply here, because there wasn't hope in either one of these games. It was just nope from the jump.
Actually, I mean, it was that 22-0 game was 1-0
for 5 innings. Yeah,
to the 5th inning. So it's and it sounds to me, obviously it sounds to me like there's no bullpen right now.
Well, there's no bullpen and there's no offense, obviously, either. When your best guys are hitting right at 200. Cal, I think his batting average has dropped somewhere in the like 130s. So just crushing it out there. Randy Arozarinas, the only shiny spot of this team as of late. 2 games ago, had himself a day, had a leadoff home run, robbed a home run, and then walked it off with a home run. So at least Randy's showing up. The rest of the team, not so much. I expect there to be some movement within this team this offseason. Dan Wilson, as a manager, might also be part of that, because if you're looking at some of these scores and the letdowns, are you starting to lose your locker room? Because those kind of scores are ridiculous.
Yeah. Looking at it, yeah, Cal is at 159.
Oh, he must have got a hit the other day. Okay.
So, well, one hit wouldn't have done it. He would have needed a couple to go from that high.
For sure. For sure.
You know, so I'm paying attention to OPS.
Yeah.
And you're right. Randy Arozarena is your best player at the moment. He's got an 836 OPS, followed by Canzone, who's actually not playing too badly either, even though he's got like a 256 batting average.
Yeah, but that would actually be like our second or third best batter right there.
Naylor is your second best, the 267. He's got 6.98, like almost 7 OPS. But he's getting on base a third of the time. So between walks and hitting, he's getting there. You got Arozarena, who's getting on over a third of the time. Ward's getting on over a third of the time, and Canzone is just at a third of the time.
The problem is nobody's driving him in.
Well, that's exactly it. If you're not getting Arozarena at second base, Canzone can't hit him in.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if he's getting to first base, and then you haven't got somebody to be able to push them along, you're running into that issue. And as I look at you guys, I mean, you guys have won 6 of your last 10. I mean,
so it's funny because when we win, it's been like walk off, 1 run type of things, and then when we lose, we lose. So, which I mean, again, they count the same. A win's a win, a loss is a loss. Like, they count the same, but man, they're tough to watch.
Yeah, actually, and they're talking about Arozarena as I'm looking here. It's like Arozarena hits leadoff home run.
Yep.
So they've scored a home run.
Yep.
In the first inning of that game against the Cubs that they lost 19-2, and after starting and ending previous game with a home run.
Yeah. No. So, he's been having himself, in August. He actually, but one guy can't win it for you.
No, he cannot. And of course, we start tonight. The Phillies versus the Mariners, 9:40 tonight. They probably flew out there already. They're probably there sleeping somewhere.
I would imagine.
It is very early in the morning over there. It's 9 o'clock here. It's only 6 o'clock there. So maybe somebody's getting up for breakfast. But yeah, and I think that it's you guys are slowly. You're only 3 games out, though.
Well, that's because our division is awful.
Terrible. Like so everybody's under 500.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and yes, Joe. Yeah, we know.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, the Athletics have taken over the lead of the basement. The Angels are no longer the worst team in that division.
I mean, I guess cool. That's one of those Does it even matter?
So, but the Phillies have won 9 straight now. And combine that with the fact that the Braves have won 3 of their last 10. And all of a sudden, we have a race again in the NL East. It's 3 games. We're back. And ultimately, we are, I want to say that we're in the number 2. Yeah, the Cubs have got a little bit higher on us. They're 75 and 56. Yep. Cubs are actually having a pretty good season this year.
They are.
The Brewers being the best team in baseball at the moment.
Yep.
With the first one to break, they're definitely going to have a winning season since they've got 81 wins already. So unless they lose out, they're going to.
That would be the most ridiculous meltdown ever.
Yeah. Although the Phillies have done it, so I can't say, not like that, not as quite as bad as that, but the Phillies were like 7 games up with 11 to play, and they blew that.
Oh, yeah.
In a bad way. But the Dodgers are at 80 and 51, and the Braves are at 76 and 55. And hey, like I said, we are 3 games out of the division and 2 games up on the wild card. The wild card teams, as we speak, are the Cubs, the Phillies, and the Padres.
Nice.
So the Phillies would wind up playing the Cubs in Wrigley had the playoffs started today.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. I would probably go to those games.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, it's October is going to be a very, very crazy busy month. Just it's going to be with the Eagles.
I feel you there, Joe. But my Mariners are actively trying to lose, so I get it.
You know what, Joe? I'm going to talk a little bit about your Cowboys for a second. Obviously, it's so funny to me that how the national media speaks on Dallas. I mean, I don't care about any of that. They literally, I watched the end of that game, just because it happened to be on television, and the Patriots went down and scored a touchdown with 56 seconds left, and the Eagles did one play and then kneeled on it. You know what I mean? To end the game. Yeah,
like not everybody in the preseason's trying to win. Like that was obvious with the Seahawks last night. They come out, Drew Lock moves the ball, no problem. What it did show me is Milroe better not have to start. Or we are in some very real trouble. So
and Frankie, don't go nowhere, Frankie, because I got some questions for you. I tell you, every time I watch one of his videos, it's almost a little bit cringeworthy.
Oh, I mean, of course. And Nick, we will talk about this, but tomorrow. Because we got our resident Browns fan going to be on the show, so definitely tune in for that one. And we will touch on the college guys.
Yeah, and so going back to what I was talking about for you, Joe, the national pundits, I want to say that I heard a good amount of national pundits this weekend talking about if you're buying or selling or staying on your team. You buy, sell, or stay. And I will tell you that there are a lot of national pundits that are saying buying the Cowboys. They're buying into what the Cowboys are selling.
Sure.
And I tell you, that's like you betting on a team. That's what I love. I love hearing that. When all these national people are like, yep, the Cowboys is their Cowboys year. I think that they're going to do it, just like Dak says. Dak says they're going to finish this season in LA. Yeah, let's go. And I tell you, that just makes my heart warm. because that's like you betting on the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. That ain't happening.
Now, I am interested to see their defense this year, though, because
that's what
added
everybody's
so much
saying.
talent.
That's what everybody is saying, is that
Sure.
not only that, I mean, the Cowboys, amongst anything else last year, actually, their defense was so horrid that you didn't notice that they were actually top 10 against the run. So they are, the fact that now that they said that they added Von Miller, and everybody's looking at that as a big deal, and I'm not sure that that's
so
a big
Von
deal.
Miller's impact is going to be less so on the field and more in the way of they drafted 5 defensive players of their 7 picks, right? So they add a couple of free agents, they draft a bunch of young guys. Von Miller's probably going to be a third down kind of guy, right?
I would think, yeah. I mean, that's what we talked about, that he needs to play only about 20%. And
exactly.
And if every play he plays more than 20% is going to be
that's a problem.
Diminishing load. Yeah. So
no, and I think that's the thing is, you're going from a team last year that had the number 1 offense, but it didn't matter because they had the worst defense on the planet. Like, I'm pretty sure a pack of Cub Scouts with a football helmet could have scored on them. This year, they actually addressed needs. And so I'm very curious to see how that comes together, because it could be a fun watch, or it could be a disaster because, it's Dallas and who knows.
So did they keep their offensive coordinator, or did they change the entire staff?
OC, I believe, is the same. DC is what they changed, right?
Well, of course they needed to do something. I mean, they were the worst defensive team in the league last year. How do you not try to, make sure that occurs? I am not as convinced. All of the defense making the changes, and listen, if you change your number by a touchdown on the defensive side, you're going to win games naturally. That's going to happen. So
that's kind of my thought, right? Is I don't expect them to be like world beaters, crazy, whatever, right? I expect their offense to take a step back, right? But say they're still a top 6 or 7. Okay. And then you go from the worst defense ever constructed to number 21. You're going to win games. Like, I'm not expecting them to be amazing on defense. You're talking about a lot of rookies potentially having legitimate playing time. So say they're not going from 32 to top 10. Say they're going from 32 to middle of the road, somewhere between 16 and 21. That team wins, right? Because they put up points.
Well, you think. So here's the I mean, they did last year.
Yeah.
And ultimately they did last year because they were always in shootouts.
Mm-hmm.
Their run game is still not the best.
Yeah.
And their offensive line has, I feel, diminished some.
Okay.
So that's where I wonder if they did too much to the defense and not enough to the offense.
I mean, that cuts both ways, though, because they were far behind, which means the other team knew you were throwing the ball and they were still able to do it.
Right. Well, no, but I get that. And they do have 2 good receivers. I mean, really good receivers. I mean, It's like CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens both are top-notch receivers.
No question.
And it's just going to be interesting. It'll be interesting because I feel that they have to still score a lot of points.
Yeah, I'd say pump the
And
brakes on top 10.
yeah, they are. Yeah, they're still gonna have to score a lot of points, and then if they score a lot of points, we'll see. That's going to be the motto here. Is like we'll see.
Well,
The fact that everybody keeps saying, "Oh, this is their year." Come on now, listen. We don't know that not even a little bit, and the fact that all those Dallas Cowboys fans say that that's their year, it's it's like get the bag of the Doritos, nacho year again.
right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no,
So,
I would say calm down on the Super Bowl favorite action for sure. But I mean, if you're getting 80% of the offensive production that you had last year, and you can end up again middle of the road on defense. I'm not saying top 10 or anything. I mean, that'll be a good team. Now, they'll probably still fall apart when it becomes playoff time because, well, it's the Cowboys. But I mean, you could see a return back to that, 10 or 12 win type of year for them. I don't think that's out of the question for the Cowboys. Giants win the division. Okay.
see, Frankie, that's what I was going to ask. Is he still up there with you? Is he still there? I tell you, his videos. I got to talk a little bit about our boy Jay. I love our boy Jay. And listen, Jay, it's not H-Town. It's Houston. Don't say H-Town. Every time you say H-Town, I'm like, I can't do it on this radio. I can't
exactly. Remember, this is a family show.
I'm like, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm talking about. So it's Houston. It's Houston. And he tries so hard to be like he's yelling into the mic. No need to, Jay. You're loud enough. You're loud enough. I like it. I like what you're trying to do. I want you to do it. I want you to do it well. There's no need for you to overemphasize anything. You are the overemphasis already. Trust me, I know this. I'm saying this all out of love. That is just normal every day. Hey, listen, I'm seeing what you're doing. I appreciate what you're trying to do. Just what? Reel it back a little bit. Reel it back a little bit.
He's having fun. Do your thing.
I get it. Yes. And Frankie's there for it all.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. So, it's like, hey, listen, Frankie, and you know what? For every day Jay's there, Frankie is not adding one to his team because Frankie likes to pump out the prizes over there. He's got like 18 kids already. There's nothing happening while Jay's there. So that's like a respite for Frankie.
Oh, see, that's where you're probably wrong. That's where he's like, I got to drown Jay out. Let me do some work.
That all being said, I think that the Cowboys, I be honest with you, I still think the Cowboys are the third best team in the division. And it's going to be interesting because I laugh at teams that go crazy on preseason games. And the Giants have been going crazy on preseason games. And that makes me wonder, are they overshooting right now? Are they trying to create a buzz around games that don't mean anything to see if you could bring in real momentum going into the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, some of it is they are using their starters to try and not necessarily try and win, but their starters have been coming off of injuries. They need to knock some rust off and stuff. Whereas a lot of other teams, Seahawks are a prime example of this, starters aren't even touching the field. So, I would hope that your number ones can beat other teams' number twos and threes. Now, is that going to create a buzz for them? Sure. Do they want that? Absolutely. Right. And they are going to be an interesting team. So it's not like it's going to be a dumpster fire. Like they're gonna be interesting. It's just going to not be, they're not going to go win the division, right?
Well, I appreciate what Harbaugh is doing here to a certain extent. Listen, your team is not used to winning. Your team is not doing whatever. You cannot afford to take those first 4 games and make them the accountable preseason. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to start 1-3 and make the playoffs. You need to be ahead of the game here a little bit. And I feel like that's what he's doing. He is playing his guys, the number 1 guys, a good amount so they get the timing down. Now, I understand, like I said, the clock in preseason and the clock in the regular season are 2 different clocks. You know what I mean?
They are, but they do at least get you up to game speed.
So, I find that like it was like 34-0. I mean, did they shut them out, I think, or was it the Rams that shut them out? I mean, I don't know. There were a couple of blowout preseason games this past weekend.
Yeah.
And the Giants were one of them. And I immediately thought of.
Oh, yeah, because they were playing the Dolphins. In fact, that's going to be a good segue here in just a second.
Yeah. So it's like yes, the Dolphins stink. You know what I mean? And they are going to stink. They are absolutely tanking for Tua here. You know what I mean? And I know the guy's name's not Tua.
Well, but they don't
drafting for the number 1.
They don't even have a choice. And so why I say this is actually a good segue is this is their current cap situation, which is why if you were what's happening, Herb? Good to see you, buddy.
Hey.
So, you should try to come on sometime. But, and of course, Raj won't love this, but they have more in dead cap than their rostered players. So they're paying people more to not play for them than they are their entire roster, which is wild. So, like, they're not going to be good this year because they can't be good this year. Like, you can't win with a bunch of guys that are on minimum contracts because you don't have enough cap space to pay anybody.
Yeah, not unless you're very, very good at getting show-me contracts. And That's not what happened here. So.
Just haters in the chat today.
Yeah, I tell you. They can. Yeah, listen, you guys can have whoever you want. My pay is going to remain the same.
Yeah, right. But yeah, their cap situation is absolutely ridiculous. So it'll be interesting to see if they can win any games. Like, I think they're going to be sort of in that same boat with Arizona, where they're going to struggle to get a couple of wins. It's funny because on its face, I was thinking Arizona, they'll get like 6 or 7 wins. And then I was going through their schedule and I'm like, man, they might beat the Jets. That's it.
Well, actually, I'm wondering, because the Dolphins play the Jets twice, do they split? Is that the 1-16?
Right.
It's like, I mean, look at this. As I look at this more and more, like, I'm just staring at that number and I'm thinking, okay, you take this hit right now. And so next year you should have no dead cap space. I mean, you'll wind up having a few million.
Yeah, there'll be some, but a lot of it is in this year for sure.
Right. So you're taking this hit now so that you can clean up everything moving forward. That's how this works, right? That's what I'm seeing. That's because ultimately you could play a lot of games and defer a lot of that, but I guess you can't even really anymore, because if it's on the books right now, there's no way of being able to switch it. A lot of that's Tua. Right? I mean, that's what we're finding out here. Tua is the crux of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a big piece of it. They had some other players that they let go that they're just eating the contracts on. Basically, they understand this year's lost, and so that's kind of where they're at there. But yeah, I mean, that Dolphins 2-15, like that's believable. You know,
hey, listen,
he thinks 2-15, but then the 2 wins are the Jets.
Yeah, but then drafting Archie Manning.
Oh,
like,
they
going to be your savior.
If they do that, they're trying to lose. We haven't seen anything out of Archie Manning in college that makes me think he's the next coming of anything.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the best of them all. And I don't know that that's going to be the case. You know what I mean? I get it that Manning seems to get better with age, but
there's a reason he couldn't beat out Ewers. I mean, so yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'd be all for it too. I mean, the Dolphins are very good at, you know, the one thing I will say is that their owner is very good at high-level gamesmanship. Like the high-level games that are played amongst owners, it seems like the Miami owner is involved with frequently.
Yeah.
He's always the one kind of stirring some of the pot.
And Nick, that's probably who you'd get is Moore. You know, who decided to not enter the draft this year and went back to school. That's probably who they get. That would be a better pickup anyway. Like he's a more functional quarterback at this point. You know, again, maybe Archie turns into something, but he's not that dude yet. Certainly not a number 1 overall pick quality guy.
Well, we'll find it out at the end of this year because
absolutely,
he's going to have to. It's definitely a show me year, you know. And the truth of the matter is that if he was to throw for like 5,000 yards and
sure
get to the playoffs, then that escalates him all the way to the number 1 pick. That's a no brainer there, I would think.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're in the conversation for the Heisman and your last name's Manning, you're the number 1 pick.
Agreed.
But that's assuming you're going to do work on the field that we haven't seen you do yet.
Right. And
you were playing with the Dolphins. I'm going to go with you probably ended up with a better win total than they're going to.
I agree. So, but speaking of the Dolphins and thinking about, you know, things changing and such like that, the head coach, the most recent ex-head coach of the Dolphins, is now the offensive coordinator of the Chargers. And do you think, and Nick is probably a good person to ask about this as well, do you think that him being the offensive coordinator with the talent that the Chargers have, that's going to be enough to get them over the hump?
You know, one of the biggest issues with the Chargers is they just are injury prone late in the year, right? I mean, they're not going to have the collapses that they had at the coaching end a couple of years ago, right? You're not going to have that same issue because Jim Harbaugh is not he's not that guy. Like all that dude does from the coaching position is win wherever he goes. So it's not going to be a coaching issue, but it absolutely can be a health issue. And that team can't stay healthy to save their life. Soon as it becomes cold weather, that team is a wrap. I mean, you end up with Herbert hurt, you end up with the line hurt, you end up with the receivers hurt. The defense starts to fall apart because they're on the field the whole time.
And let's face it, last year even the coach got hurt. I mean, I'm not saying like he was out for, listen, cancer's a big deal, and I'm not trying to wish anything like that on anybody, but he was out.
Look at you being that guy. Like,
but he was out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's like he was also on the list. So, I mean, I get it, and I wonder if McCarthy is going to make the difference over there. The one thing that I will say that he was really good at for the first couple of seasons while he was in Miami was able to put his receivers in positions that didn't get them killed. And if you are trying to do whatever you can to remain healthy and keep your people healthy, you got to not get your receivers killed.
For sure. And I mean, I do like McDaniel as a play caller. Like that's where he does shine, as far as using the analytics and everything. No question.
Right.
As a head coach, it just he wasn't, that was not his thing. At least this time around.
Yeah, I felt like he was too goofy.
It's funny though, because a lot of these guys don't work out the first time they're a head coach. Right. So if he goes and that offense is just electric, he'll get another shot.
Right away.
Exactly.
Right away.
Yeah.
It's interestingly enough, I look at, for whatever reason, being the offensive coordinator for the Chargers creates you to become an offensive coordinator somewhere else where you win a Super Bowl and then you jump. I feel like that's what happens with Chargers, or they fail miserably, which is what happened last year. I feel like that one failed out. But like the two Chargers before that, Kellen Moore, came to the Eagles, won a Super Bowl, became a head coach. Yep. The guy before him, I also think, went somewhere else, won a Super Bowl, and became a head coach. And I don't remember that guy's name, but it's like I feel like that happened as well. And that's because it was, the joke was, hey, whoever left the Chargers offensive coordinator became an offensive coordinator or became a coach somewhere else, and that team won the Super Bowl. So
yeah, it's what my Mariners do with players. We cultivate talent, we send them out in the world, and they go win a ring. It is super frustrating. And if you're a Chargers fan, you've watched this the entirety of that franchise. Even when they've had some amazing talent.
Yeah, but it's the Mariners. So they made their playoff. They made their playoff run for the last 20 years. Now you got 20 years of.
Yeah. Well, again, at least I'm never conflicted about what sports team in the Pacific Northwest I'm watching in October, because the Mariners are very rarely in it.
But interestingly enough, for whatever reason, the Mariners seem to play the Phillies very well in Seattle.
Yes.
And
it should be a good series.
The fact that you guys have won 6 of your last 10, even though you have been giving up 100 runs a game. The fact that we have won 9 in a row.
Yeah.
Is exciting. So I'm hoping by the end of the series that we are at 12 in a row.
I disagree, but
it would make things not so nice for you, I can imagine.
For sure. I'd like
tonight
to
see you guys,
I'd like to see you guys randomly get swept.
Which also wouldn't be a surprise. It's like we go back and forth, but
this is probably what it is, though. It probably is 1-3.
Wheeler goes tonight. The Phillies are a slight favorite at a -120.
Joe just bring in the hater. Love it.
Hey, listen, you could root for you root for the Seattle Mariners because you are the ultimate mush.
Yeah, well, and it's funny they can't have Miller pitch anymore. They also they actually went after him a little bit in the post-game presser and asked if they thought he should be moved to the bullpen. That's a pretty direct question for a press conference. They don't usually go that hard at guys, but so since we were talking about the Dolphins, though, here is the list of our new coaches this year. outside of Halfley, because we know he's hamstrung just because you can't even add talent to that team with the way their cap is. Which of these guys are going to struggle the most, at least this year? And I'm taking Halfley out. This is just a list of all the ones, but Halfley's going to be terrible. I think even with a good team, he may not have been great, but we're not going to know anything about him this year.
I tell you, I look at that first side, and I look at Mike McCarthy, Jesse Minter, and Todd Monken, and I'm like, which one of them? I immediately think Mike McCarthy. But then again, I think about how well he can call a game, and that because you have first-year coaches in those other two spots, I feel that he could win a game out coaching them.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah.
I think Mike LaFleur is going to, a one and done, dare I say. If you don't win a game, do you get booted? And I think, yes, I think you do.
If you're an 0-16, yes. At a minimum, if you don't get fired, your entire staff does.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much talent you have. And I know that the Cardinals are the fourth best team in that division. And I get it, but the fourth best team in that division should still win 6 games. So if you go 4-13, if you're going 4-13, if you get swept by the NFC East, and swept by your division, that's the fight there. Like, you can't get swept by the NFC.
Yeah,
you cannot do it.
Well, and the only reason I bring up the staff getting fired is the OC is Hackett. And so that might be a situation where LaFleur might get the pass because Hackett has been bad everywhere he's been. So if he comes in and is awful.
Who hired him?
The GM.
Or is it the GM hired him? So, is the GM going to then, is he going to be out?
It's possible. It's possible. But LaFleur might get that free pass because he didn't necessarily assemble all the pieces, and he was given a team that really isn't set to win. Plus, you had a holdout of a okay quarterback. Like, they just had a lot of weird stuff around the team. And I expected them to be like a 6-win team, but then every time I look at that schedule, it's like, man, the only really winnable game for the way that team's constructed is the Jets. Yeah, Cleveland should be decent if they ever figure out their quarterback situation, but because they do have talent on that team.
Yeah, it's going to matter on how you can't have the quarterback be the answer. So that's exactly it. You have to remove the quarterback out of the equation. And if you can win with the other 21 guys on the field, then you are going to win 9-10 games. That's the problem. I think that the quarterback is a -2, which means that gives me 7 games. You know what I mean? And I think either answer at quarterback is a -2. So, and that's that, wins over replacement, the wars. And I think that's where I'm coming up with that number. I think that either answer is a -2, and ultimately you have to overcome that. So I also believe that, as I look at this list, John Harbaugh has got the most to prove. Everybody on this list John Harbaugh's got the most. I mean, you could talk about Joe Brady, and Joe Brady being able to, let's see if he can go in there. I think that the Bills take a small step backwards, which means that, again, Josh Allen is not going to the Super Bowl, which, could be very frustrating. It's very rare that a first-year coach goes to a Super Bowl. It's rare.
Yeah.
Not impossible, but rare. So I don't see that happening. I think that Joe is going to take a minute to learn the league as a head coach.
Sure.
John Harbaugh, like Clint Kubiak, I think about that, and I'm like, it's.
I think he has latitude though. Like I don't think he's going to have a great season, but I don't think ownership is looking to have a one and done situation. Like
I agree with that. Unless you have a situation where you lose the locker room.
Sure.
Can't lose the locker room. That's the thing there. So don't lose the locker room in Vegas.
Yeah.
That's your answer there to remain good. Salah is
he's fine.
Yeah, he's not going nowhere, and that team stinks. Stefanski, same situation. I feel like that he's got, he's now all right. You had your chance to blow it at the, in Cleveland. You are now here with a different dumpster fire.
Yeah, but this Atlanta at least has the possibility of winning. You feel like the Browns don't. Like the Browns find ways to lose, and Atlanta at least has some history of success.
Well, recently-ish. You know what I mean? I mean, you think about in the last 20 years, they did make it to the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
They were in the playoffs a lot, and they did have those things. But I mean, Matt Ryan's not quarterbacking this team anymore. The receivers aren't great. They do have a running back. They do have a tight end, and those are both all pro. Could be first team all pro players. Bijan and their tight end is also like really, really good. But their quarterback is,
Well, I think that's the good thing about why they went and got Tua, right? Is now they have two injury-prone quarterbacks, so they'll probably get all the games. Their third stringer might get a game, but they play exactly the same. So you're not asking your offensive line to have to switch up the way they block or anything like that. Like they play similar style. They're both lefties. Like they have that element to them. So I think you'll be able to kind of go from one to the next and back as they get hurt, because I fully expect them to be hurt. So, but I think in that division, because that division isn't great, especially now, because Tampa has a lot of questions about not signing people. And is there going to be, a cancer in that locker room at this point? You have the Saints, who are going to be better than they were last year, but they ended up with a couple of injuries already this preseason. The Panthers ended up with a ton of injuries this preseason already, season-ending type of injuries. So Atlanta is primed to take this division.
Right. Also, there were like a couple of not just injuries with Carolina, but suspensions. I thought I saw that they had a couple of people, and I don't know like where they were on the whatever part of the depth chart, but
sure.
I thought there were a few mentions of suspensions for Carolina.
I mean, there might be.
So actually there was a good number of suspensions that I saw come down off of that list. I mean, that was released about a week ago, but
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but
I don't see that. I actually have the Saints winning the division
with 9 wins.
No, I think that they could even pull off a 10th.
Okay.
Maybe, who knows, maybe even go 11. I just trust Kellen Moore. For whatever reason, I know that all he's done is win, and he's had this ridiculously over vanilla offense that all it does is score points and win.
So Kellen Moore reminds me a lot of I don't know why I'm mind blanking the name. He was our OC here in Seattle for quite a while that just made us mad all the time because he was, if everybody's healthy, you have like the most boring offense ever. But as soon as guys get hurt, you actually get to see them get creative. And you're like, where is that the rest of the time when our stars are healthy? Like,
right.
Let's do some of this creative OC calling, and they don't do that. As soon as everybody's healthy, it's like, oh, we're just running these dive plays and end arounds and like check down. And you're like, come on, man, let's use some of this playbook. And so Kellen Moore does that. I don't know why I'm mind blanking our OC, but we had him for a long time here. Yeah, it's similar type of situation where it's like, oh yeah, you are smart. You just never let us know that.
Well, but I mean, listen, you can't go against what works. And ultimately that's the one thing Kellen Moore has been able to do is just keep winning. So it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, I think that the defense is good enough to be able to handle their own. And we'll see.
There we go. Came to me finally.
And that's what I was thinking, Gary Kubiak, but
no. It was Bevel. So Bevel was the most frustrating guy for us because we had all this talent and he would give us the most boring offense ever. And it worked. I mean, we won a Super Bowl with it, so it's not like you can be too mad at it. But at the same time, as soon as you ended up with key elements hurt, then you saw the creativity coming out. And it's like, oh, you do actually know football. Like, why don't we see some of that? Like, you don't have to put it out there all the time, but let's at least, win some games with super creativity. So.
Yeah, there you go. So when, just like I said, on that whole list, I think John Harbaugh is going to have the most to try to prove because he is a team. He's a guy that won a Super Bowl. The same thing with McCarthy. McCarthy won a Super Bowl. Everybody else on that list has not won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, and McCarthy is gifted they're going to do what they can this year. And then they understand they're going to be bad after that, right? Because they don't have the answer at quarterback. There's a lot of question marks with that team. The defense is old. Like there's a lot of things about that team that next year is a wildly different animal. So he's going to have some pressure to try and do something this year, but then that's it. And then it's hitting the reset button on that team.
Well, and I think that he's got a 4-year shelf life anyways.
Sure.
That this is the first time that the Steelers have decided to not hire a coach forever. That this guy has got a shelf life, and that was part of the expectation here. You're not going to have him for 12 years. I don't know. I look at that. I look at that whole division, and I'm like, is it the Bengals' year to be able to win that division? I don't trust, that Lamar is going to do anything with the new coach. I think.
But did they do enough on defense? Like they didn't get marketably better, right? Like they lose some talent, they get a draft pick that you hope works out, right? But their past picks haven't, so who knows? But it's not like they went out and bought a defense. Like they got a couple of pieces that hopefully makes them better, but they didn't really do anything to the offensive line to get better. So you're just hoping Burrow stays healthy. The defense is going to be a little better, but not great. I don't know. That division's tough because you're also looking at they're the only team that didn't fire their coach. I mean, so who knows?
Yeah. Hey, I hope you're enjoying yourself up there, Jay. I know that you don't get out very much and get to leave H-Town ever. You know what I mean? But listen, it's Houston. It's not H-Town. It's Houston. I understand you want to call it H-Town. You think it's very chic. It's not chic. It's not. Other than that, I'm hoping you're having a great time up there.
Other than me hating on you.
So I wanted to see, you know what, that was one of the things I was going to ask if you wanted to step in about.
What's that?
What happened with the WNBA and I guess because it happened yesterday. The player getting kicked out of the game.
Oh yeah,
that there was a on-court, off-court moment type situation.
Yeah, so that's probably one we'll need to save for Wednesday.
Good enough.
Just because we're up against it time-wise, only 4 minutes left. I don't know that we'd really be able to dive into that one too much based on how long those segments were the last two times we talked about something similar. Especially because who got kicked out was kind of at the heart of that conversation. So, yeah, that'll probably be a Wednesday thing because that'll also be fun to get Cam spun up on.
If you decide to talk about it, Cam likes to go off on his own tangents.
True. There is that.
We'll have a whole plan to talk about the WNBA. And next thing you know, we're talking about how Philly's quarterback is not. Oh, that's Jason. Yeah, Jason is the one. That's Thursday.
Well, he might do it too. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Anytime he wants to, anytime they can hate on Philly, they do.
Yep. Yeah,
I'm here for it.
It's always funny. It's always funny.
But there you go. So listen, Jay, enjoy New York up there. You know, like I said, yeah, you're stopping Frankie from procreating because, I mean, I know that he's not able to get those prizes pumped out. I mean, he's got 18 kids already. So 2 baseball teams. The Browns officially named it. What's that right now? Did they just do that?
I was going to say, that's what I'm looking for. I'm seeing if that has been officially announced. I haven't seen it pop across my phone yet.
And it doesn't show up here either. But
now, I mean, the thing that's funny is nothing really indicates that either one of them have won that job. They are both terrible. Like neither one of them have shown out. Watson is, no touchdowns and a pick. Shador has 1 touchdown and 2 picks. Oh, okay. Shefty. Nice. All right. I mean, sweet. So I guess that actually leads into tomorrow. Well, I guess, see how, Bobby G likes his new QB. I don't know that it necessarily stays that way throughout the season though.
Perfect. I'm gonna get the confetti and start tossing that confetti up and down.
Yay!
Yay! We finally got a quarterback in Cleveland again.
The best of meh. All right.
So
that being said, that does get us to the top of the hour here. If you've been watching along, be sure to like and subscribe. And of course, if you are listening on 97.3 ICU Radio, we do have some smooth jazz coming your way. Smooth jazz. Otherwise, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.
Peace.